Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories. And if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too. And let's crack on with today's first story. Much love, guys. Now today's first story comes from both the groom and the bride of this story. It's titled, Am I the Arsehole? I, 38 male, for telling my fiancée, female 27, her wedding dress choice is way too extravagant and suggesting alternatives. And it started off with the groom's post and said, sorry on mobile and throwaway, as she's a Redditor. We're getting married in July of this year. The venue is booked and the wedding is pretty much sorted. Emma has been researching dresses and has a little scrapbook of lots of dresses she likes for ideas, but is now looking to buy. All that's left is to get the bridesmaids' dresses and her wedding dress. We jointly put aside $10,000 each for the wedding. Everything is paid and we have $6,000 left over, which I think could go towards the honeymoon, on top of the honeymoon fund we already had. We aren't the extravagant type at all. Then comes the time for Emma to pick her dress. I know everything is more expensive when it has the term wedding attached to it. What I wasn't expecting was a $950 dress plus $120 veil. I'm using my dad's old tux he used for his wedding to my mum. Just had it taken in a little. Emma can't use her mum's dress as her and her mum both say the style hasn't aged well, which is fair. I had a quick Google around at dresses online and there were so many, and so many just like the one Emma wants for like $50 to $100. I'm not trying to get her to cheap out on her dress, but she will literally wear it once. One dress for over $1,000 is just insane. That would fund our honeymoon. I tried to show her some dresses I found on a recommended app called Wish and other websites, but she was having none of it. She is very slender, but apparently wants it specially fitted. It turned nasty, unfortunately, because I said I refused to drop such a large amount of money on the dress, and she argued that she's using her own money for the dress, which isn't strictly true, as we are about to marry and our finances will be joined. Then her mum had to get involved. They offered to pay for the dress, but it's not a case of not being able to afford it. It's a dress. There are identical ones online at a fraction of the cost. I thought she would be ecstatic to learn there are identical dresses for a fraction of the cost, but she was really angry and upset. Am I the arsehole here? Is there something I am seriously missing? Because after we argued about the dress, Emma had been extremely cold towards me. Then yesterday she said if I want her to cheap out on her wedding dress on her wedding day, that she needs to really consider if we are a good match for marriage. I'm blown away that she would say that over a dress. I told her she's like a toddler throwing a tantrum over a sparkly toy she can't have. That was a mistake as she left to stay with her parents, who called to tell me I am much more than an arsehole. Am I the arsehole here? OP later edited the post and said, Emma found this thread. It was a mistake to post here and I'm sorry I posted our problems on Reddit. I am the arsehole. So there was a bunch of comments below this from OP as well, but also some relevant comments with OP replying. So OP first said, but the gowns I found on Wish looked very professionally made and very similar to the one she's picked. Obviously, because of the website OP picked, a lot of people were bashing on OP for that one. Another comment OP made said, I mentioned a secondhand wedding dress store and she said no without even going to take a look. People on the back of that comment was basically calling OP controlling here. Another comment OP made said, that's not fair. I would never tell her what to wear. She can wear what she wants. It is the absurd price that I'm against. Another commenter from OP says, see, I can definitely understand caring about the quality of the dress if it's a work dress or a regularly worn formal dress. I think what everyone's missing is this will be worn for one day. And people below that one were basically saying, yeah, everyone knows a wedding dress is worn for one day, OP, because he just kept repeating it over and over again. I mean, potentially she's going to be wearing it to 2 weddings at this rate. But Mary says, Emma, ask if your fiance's behavior here is a one-off. There are some concerning things here. His insistence on controlling your purchase, made with your money, even if it's funded by your parents. Is he controlling in other ways? Has he ever been insistent on you spending your time and money only in ways he approves of? And does he usually lash out when you don't do what he wants? The way he's resorting to name calling because you wouldn't capitulate to his demands, calling you a toddler, throwing a tantrum instead of communicating with you respectfully. This is made especially worse by the fact that his demands are unreasonable and stem from a fundamental ignorance about the subject. Wedding gown cost, what knockoffs are and why they're a bad idea, etc. And that he's shutting down your attempts to educate him. Does he normally communicate with you openly and respectfully? Does he normally get angry and verbally attack you when you disagree with him? Are you normally able to have conversations with him on difficult topics that are calm, respectful, and productive, even when you disagree? Maybe you're both cracking under wedding planning strain, and this is an out-of-character moment that you can work through, but maybe this is pointing to a larger pattern. Proceed with caution. Remember that you're about to enter into a pretty intense legal and social contract with this man, and that you're signing up for a lifetime of conflict resolution with this person in particular. The way you both approach disagreement and handle conflict now reflects how you'll be likely to continue to do so going forward. Now may be the time to double check with yourself if this is the right move. Edit. After reading through the comments, I would also encourage you to look at his behavior here, on this Reddit post. His response to new information is not to take it on board and process it, but to double down, plug his fingers in his ears, close his eyes, and refuse to listen. The lengths he'll go to avoid admitting he was mistaken are a bit troubling. It may also be worth asking yourself if there's a reason someone who is so insistent on always being right may have for seeking out a partner who's a decade younger. I'm wishing you all the best, and I hope this works out for you. OP response that says, I thought I'd have a look through the comments to see if anything explained why Emma has blocked me and her phone is ringing through to voicemail. I seriously can't believe people started a witch hunt over a dress. I watched some YouTube videos of Wish wedding dresses, and yes, Wish are trash, I get it. I was wrong about that site. But to end up being blocked because you've told her I am abusive and manipulative is just vile. I called her parents' house and the line's off the hook. So if you see this, Emma, call me, please. I won't shout, I won't get mad, I just want to end this crap. Get whatever dress you want. I see that I was wrong and I'm sorry. Spelling's bad, had some whiskey, can you blame me after this? Mary replies to that and says, edit 2, based on Josh's newest comment about you blocking him on Messenger. It sounds like you're taking some time and space to think things over. I think that's a really good move. There's a quiz from the Love is Respect project that may help you clarify your thinking about whether this is a healthy, nurturing relationship. Hope everything turns out well for you, Emma, whatever you decide to do. There's a whole community of people here rooting for you to be happy. Edit 3, it looks like OP has been banned from Am I the Arsehole? He just sent me a furious, invective-filled PM, blaming the sub for what's happening in his personal relationship and reiterating that abusive behavior is normal and fine. So I guess he's learned nothing. According to the PM, Emma's dad just called him and chewed him out, so it sounds like at least she has a strong familial support system. So Mary provided a transcript of the message that she was sent and said, which was from OP, the groom, and said, I'm now banned from Am I the Arsehole and good fucking riddance. The dad just called to cuss me the fuck out. Can you believe I've been trying to not fucking cuss so I didn't get banned so I can at least defend myself, then banned for no reason? I live in the real world where when people are angry, they yell. They save money where they can. They don't fucking run away and block you. Fuck this, fuck it all. And fuck Emma for believing strangers on the internet over a fiancé of 2 fucking years. Cupcakes and Vodka says, Emma, if you see this, run for the fucking hills. Men who are almost 40 marry 27-year-olds often because they're manipulative and going to put bullshit a woman his age won't put up with. He is too old for you. You're seeing signs of this behavior now. $950 for a wedding dress ain't shit. He's already trying to control and manipulate you and your fiancé, and you aren't even married yet. Do not go through with it. OP, you're a massive arsehole, and she shouldn't marry you. OP says, wow, thanks, seriously. She's been keeping up with this thread because she told me not to take it down. She wanted to read the replies, and now she's blocked me on Messenger, and my calls go to voicemail. So thanks a lot, everyone. Couldn't have left it at you're the arsehole. Legitimately out for blood. Mob mentality if ever I saw it. So then the bride came in with her own post titled, Me, 23 female with my fiancé, 43 male, of 1.5 years. He's humiliated me just a few months before our wedding over my dress, and I don't know what to do. I will change the name despite his inability to do the same. I don't really care if he sees this, but he isn't subbed to relationships. I literally don't know where to start. My fiancé we'll call Greg. I don't know what came over him. It's completely insane. Getting married summer, the argument started over my wedding dress. I picked a very simple and traditional gown that was already discounted as it's an example gown. My absolute idiot of a fiancé decided to post to a subreddit asking for opinions, or more likely validation, on whether I was being unreasonable. My dress is under $1,000 but will come to around $1,500 with alterations. We have over $7,000 left in our budget. That's another thing that seriously upset me. He lied in his post multiple times. I make a much higher salary than him, so we agreed he would put $5,000 towards the wedding and I put in the rest. But why lie? Why ask opinions if you skew the details? I had no problem with this as he makes just above the minimum wage. The thread got way too much attention. I'd already gone to my parents because I was angry about him calling me immature and shouting about me being spoiled. I also happened to find the thread shortly after he made it because not only did he use my real name, his throwaway was his real name followed by his alarm pin. He sent me a text saying that he wasn't the asshole in this situation and I just knew he would post it on Reddit. It's not the first time he posted on Reddit about stuff. But nothing of this magnitude. Anyway, I don't know what to do. There are people online now claiming to be me, and it's been shared on Twitter and Facebook, and I'm absolutely mortified. He got totally hammered last night and called my parents. My dad had to hang up on him because he was screaming down the phone and my mum was disgusted. I can't get my money back on the venue or anything. I recently started antidepressants because I've been feeling low, but now I just feel empty. This whole thing was about the cost of my dress, and he suggested I use the Wish app to get an identical gown. First, he refused to listen to me that Wish is garbage, but he also argued it to death in the comments. I read every single comment in that thread, and it was like being punched in the gut. I can't get over the odd lies either. He gave out my real name and his, but lied about the age gap and budget. I am 23, he is 43. Admittedly, he looks much younger, and for the first few weeks dating, I thought he was in his early 30s. We also have only been together a year, not 2 years I think he said, and I'm starting to think this was all too fast. I need help. I need advice. I know I'm quite possibly pot calling the kettle by posting to Reddit, but I post here a lot usually anyway, and all the fake accounts claiming to be me might throw him off anyway. I might be slow replying as I start work in an hour. Thanks all. So the original OP, the potential husband, put up another post 3 months later in the dating advice subreddit saying, struggling to get back into the dating scene since my fiancé left me unexpectedly. I said, a few months back I was going to be married, and long story short, things were called off. She wanted to end things, I didn't, and I feel like I've lost all my trust in women. I don't want to feel like this anymore. I was dating someone called Isabel up until last week. She's really amazing and kind, but the second she heard about my ex and the fiasco that surrounded it, she ghosted me. And it's become a pattern. At some point, no matter how close we're getting, I hear about it from a friend and it comes up somehow and they bail. I just want to know how to behave or what I can do to make things work. My last girlfriend, Casey, when she broke up with me, she said the issue was that I hadn't changed from who I was when my fiancé left me. But I have. I hardly drink at all now. My job is steady and I'm a good guy. But I think the issue is that I'm suffering from small town syndrome. Everyone knows everyone here. Back arsewards little town it is. Please give me advice on putting this behind me. I'm honestly desperate. My life was about to move towards a phase and now I'm stuck in limbo. I need a girl to fill that place so I can move forward with my life. And I'm just going to read the top comment from that post from Berserk the Kid, who says, aren't you the guy that was really rude and controlling over what your fiancé wanted to buy with her own money? I saw your Am I the Arsehole story on YouTube and came to check you out. I was not surprised that your fiancé left you. Actually, I applaud her for doing so. You need to work on yourself, like seriously work on yourself. Drop the selfish entitled attitude. No woman wants to be treated the same way you treated your ex-fiancé. I think the scariest part is how unaware to your own abhorrent behavior you are. You need a serious reality check first, and you also need to understand why you're in the wrong, because you'll always blame the woman you're with instead of yourself until you learn to take responsibility for your actions and examine your flaws. Don't punish any woman with your personality until you fix it. Good luck. My wordy. When he said I need a girl to fill that place so I can move forward with my life, I was like, oh fucking hell's bells. And it was like the fiancé/bride said, it's like, why do people create a post with skewed details on a throwaway account? I never understand that, to sort of validate themselves, yet you're lying to validate yourselves. It's like another level of shitness, really, isn't it? But anyway, now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And let's move on to another story. And our next story comes from the Am I the Arsehole subreddit from a throwaway account. It says, am I the arsehole for refusing to waive my alimony because my ex-husband has cancer and can't afford it? My ex-husband, 56 male, and I, 52 female, got divorced because of his infidelity. He married his affair partner. She was a prostitute 20 years younger than me. As part of our prenuptial agreements, we had agreed that I would receive alimony for being a stay-at-home mum. I was a stay-at-home mum for my entire marriage. We had 3 daughters. He never had a problem with paying alimony after our divorce. We had to be friendly to maintain a good co-parenting relationship. My daughters were very hurt in the beginning, but learned to forgive my husband and his wife. They make TikToks with her all the time now. He ended up getting cancer, and because he became a big spender and had recently started his own business, the bills have been very hard on him. He and his wife asked if I could waive my alimony payments at least for a little while so they can pay for his cancer treatments. I see no reason why they can't downgrade their quality of life. They live in a multi-million-dollar house, and his wife is decked out in designer clothes and has a full face of procedures. I told them no, and they have been pressing me to waive my alimony payments. They've even made my daughters bring it up. He's called me cold-hearted and said he had been good to me and would have helped me out if I was going through a hard time. Am I the arsehole? Edit, he has early-stage thyroid cancer. It's very treatable. He's not going to die. The first commenter says, from Scene Odd, I feel like there's more information that could influence a vote, and there's an argument possible that both parties have some arsehole behavior. Go to a judge, let them decide, or to be more civil, ask to sit down with them and figure out a plan. Maybe it's you stop alimony for 2 months while they adjust assets and redo their budget. If they aren't willing to redo a budget, then this was likely a tactic to get out of it, and they're the arseholes. Either way, tell them to keep your kids out of it. That's absolutely not okay. It's not their fault you guys divorced. There was also a bunch of people saying you're the arsehole. Some people called OP vindictive. Another commenter says, not the arsehole, that they live above their means isn't your problem. They asked and you said no. That should have been it. But here's where I really feel you are not at fault. They keep harping after you said no. Then they try to use the kids. That's a seriously low thing to do. Then he calls you names and says how good he's been after he cheated and it led to divorce. The alimony isn't being good. That's court mandated. He would have helped you out. Right, easy to say now. He didn't help you out when he helped himself to another woman. If they really had a money crunch, they can probably sell cars or a house or take a loan against the house, which they pay back when they downsize the house later, etc. Basically, there are many other avenues before the alimony payments. They probably went for that because it would be the easiest if you just agreed. Does the wife not work? Fax Machine says not the arsehole, and Jesus, I'm going to assume it's all middle schoolers in the comments because good God. If he truly can't afford it, he can go back to court to try and have it reduced. She's not lazy, she was a stay-at-home mum who would have an extremely tough time getting back into the workforce at this point because of sacrifices she made for him. He has a multi-million-dollar house. No one needs that. If he can afford it, great. If not, well, he's the one who cheated, knowing there was a clause for alimony in the prenup. Good lord, Reddit sometimes. Commenter asks OP saying, info, have either of you talked to a lawyer? OP says, have. It's very unlikely my alimony payments would be affected. He legally owes a lump sum amount that he pays in installments. There was a commenter talking about him who deliberately chose not to get any health insurance, and Opie responded saying the man has never planned anything in his life. He's an incredible salesman, but he lacks other critical skills like discipline. He should have known that opening up his own business came with its own risks. He always needed the structure of a job to succeed. He has early stage thyroid cancer, which is very treatable. He can easily afford his treatments with an adjustment in lifestyle, but he knows it won't keep his wife. Being the mother of his children means jack shit to him. It's only the legality that binds him. I think it's safe to say the majority of the comments on this post were leaning towards not the arsehole, but there was quite a few you're the arseholes in there as well. But now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And just a huge thank you for being here today, for getting involved in the stories. Your love, your support, your time always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much for being involved. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Take care and much love.